Hey guys, welcome to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak. Now guys, if you're new to this program, there's certain instructions that you need to abide by, which is call your friends, call people that you don't even particularly like, and just let them know the show is about to commence. And you got to put the kettle on because you're in for a real treat. We have some amazing women on the set today who's going to be sharing with you about their new venture, their new business. Oh, I'm not even going to give too much information. So watch these adverts and I'll see you on the other side. Peace out. Later.
Good afternoon, ladies. Thank you for coming. It's lovely to see all of you. Everyone's looking good.
Get booked to host events and they were like, what have you done? And I was like, yeah, I've done 1 or 2 shows. And then I was like, actually, I need to show them that I've done loads of shows. So I created my own live event.
I know when something's bombed because nobody likes it, nobody comments. It just sits there like, okay, did I even post this? And sometimes I do delete it because I'm just like, it's taking up space.
You're not going to get good feedback all the time, but when you get bad feedback, use that as an opportunity to improve your brand.
The more you start to realise that actually that's not a problem, that is who you are, and who you are is amazing, the better you, the more confident you become.
Hey guys, welcome back to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak. How you doing? Yes, okay. So we got some amazing women on the show today. Their name is Ije, and we've got Hubbee Lara. But you know what? Let me not even take the limelight because I may just go on a little bit too much. But let me just put the camera over to these ladies and you guys can find out about these lovely No Ordinary women. Hey guys, how you going, dolls?
Hello.
You guys are so fabulous. What's with the red lipstick?
We didn't plan it, but we're so in sync.
Yeah.
We had to, follow you, catch up with you.
With your own pink, yeah.
There's pink.
But you're matching your cushion.
Exactly.
It's like,
You know,
this beautiful branding here.
what is every time whenever we have guests on the show, for some reason somebody's wearing something to go in connection with the actual logo colours. So I guess today is my day to take ownership. Yeah.
It's your day indeed.
Okay, so our viewers are watching you guys, and obviously they need to know who you ladies are, and I'm just gonna put it all over to you guys. So talk about Hubbee. So Ije.
so I'm Ije, and obviously I've known Hubbee Lara for about 12 years. Yeah. Pretty much. I feel like I've known her all my life, but 12 years.
Okay.
So we started Hubbee just over a year ago. That's when we actually started Hubbee, but we've had, it's been quite of a journey. We'll talk about that later, but we've had a long journey up to thinking about Hubbee and, planning. So we had loads of different ideas and we kind of decided that none of them were what we wanted to do, and actually Hubbee was what we wanted to do.
So what is Hubbee?
So Hubbee is the hub for weddings.
Okay.
So Lara can talk about how Hubbee arrived there. How do we get involved in weddings?
So when you say weddings, are you talking like wedding planning or?
Yeah, so I'm Hubbee Lara, also known as Lara. So yeah, the hub, Hubbee's the hub for weddings. And basically, for a while, we was just going to many weddings. Like, there was one point, I think in 2014, we were going to over 12, 13 weddings.
Hold on a second. So you lot know people that will get married on a regular basis?
And we were sort of known as either
the wedding goers
or the wedding gatecrashers. And please
The wedding gatecrashers.
and helpers.
Hold on a second.
We've never gatecrashed anything, but it's just that we were always invited to people's weddings.
Yeah.
And
we were like the fake bridesmaids. People had their own bridesmaids, but the bridesmaids was lazy. So they would be asking us to do stuff like help at the wedding, help plan baby showers, bridal showers, and things like that. So that's how we got involved in it. People were always asking us oh, where can I find a veil? Where can I find a DJ? And yeah.
And we were also the real bridesmaids as well.
Right.
And I think it just evolved, just always constantly going to weddings, always being at weddings, always being known as the girls that were always invited to weddings. I mean, we will have conversations with our friends, and they will be like, oh, you know, save the date for this particular event, and they will say to us, well, make sure you don't have a wedding, Lara. And I would turn around and say, well, actually, we do have a wedding to go to.
Wow.
And deep down, though, in our hearts, we actually,
but we loved it.
We're looking forward to that particular wedding.
Oh wow, that's so cool. So in regards to Hubbee itself, because I've checked out your website and it's just amazing,
Thank you.
Really amazing. But what I noticed, because at first I was thinking, okay, this is going to be definitely like a wedding planning, you know, you're going to do all the setting up the venue and everything else, but it's actually completely the opposite, because you've got so much information right down from tips, you know, like the bride, the groom giving tips to those who are looking, well, those who are about to be married and those who's just being engaged, and tips about proposing. I'm like, hold on a second, this is real different. Do you know what I mean? So it's really got a real unique selling point there. How did the concept come about?
So for a while, you know, we've been going to many weddings, and we noticed that a lot of our friends were constantly asking us for advice or tips, and they were not just asking us, but they were asking each other, you know, how do you find a chic veil, or, you know, where are the best venues at? Is it better to do it outside London or inside London? So it was just those various conversations that were going on, and we just thought that, before even Hubbee, we had various other ideas, which we will get to. But with Hubbee, how that was birthed was more to do with the fact that we wanted a social networking platform, like a sharing platform, where brides and even grooms can, you know, go to our website and just share and give information and tips via vlogs, videos, which is a new thing out now. You know, everyone just is, you know, is on YouTube. You know, there are many vloggers out there. You can be your own personal vlogger and give that advice and tip, as well as blogs as well, which is, you know, out there as well. Everyone's blogging and providing pictures as a result. So
and mainly connecting to vendors. Because what we found when we done our research was there's loads of websites for brides to like find out loads of tips and stuff, and there's loads of websites for vendors to list about their services, but there isn't anything really out there that merges the two of them together. So what we've done is we've kind of merged them together, so vendors can find the couples and the couples can find the vendors that they need.
That's amazing. That's really good. And also, like I said before, that I noticed that you've got like YouTube clips where people are vlogging like the bride and groom or the bridesmaids and giving like free tips and things like that. I don't know if anybody would suggest something like this, but you know, like even when you do get married, you know, some of the challenges, because sometimes, you know, like people's been living by themselves or living with their parents and then they become one. They may need like tips of what to do when you've now merged together, and you know.
And that's a great point that you've just made, because that is the bigger vision of Hubbee. Hubbee doesn't just stay with, you know, it's just not just about the wedding day. It's bigger than that, and that is the greater vision. And so if you look at our website, there's 3 different categories, and it's before the day, on the day, and after the day. And after the day will eventually evolve, where we will be, you know, putting more categories on there. Not just honeymoon, not just about, you know, moving houses, but about marriage, you know,
how
the
to live
real
together,
issues.
things.
Definitely, because that's so important, you know, because I think sometimes, you know, like especially as women, we get so excited. It's just like the big day and just want to dress, the shoes, the hair, the makeup, etc. But then you gotta live with this dude for the rest of your life.
And their family. And some of the topics I've heard is how to deal with the mother-in-law, how to deal with the family. So all of that stuff will kind of be incorporated into the After Today section as it grows.
And also the dude that has to live with that woman, you know, the wife. So we want to not just focus on, you know, women, but also men as well. So we're trying to balance that as well as time goes on. We also want men to give tips as well.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, because men, for some reason, they just don't really talk. Do you know what I mean? And I think it would be so awesome for men to be giving tips as well to other men, and not only just for other men, for women as well, especially single women, because it gives you an insight about how a man's mind thinks.
Absolutely.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that is really, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. But what I wanted to ask you next was, what are the challenges that you've actually faced since doing a Hubbee?
There's a few challenges. People always say, oh, how can you like do business with your best friend. But I think I know Lara's strengths and I know my own strengths. So I don't try to be Lara and Lara doesn't try to be me. You know, we know what we're good at and we stick to what we're good at, and I think that's why we work in partnership. So that's one of our challenges. Obviously there's stuff that we don't agree on all the time, but we try to move past that and think about the bigger vision and just understand that our strengths are different. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the challenges.
I like that point actually. I didn't think about that when I thought about challenges, because they say don't go into business with your friends, certainly not your best friend. But me and Ije are more than just best friends, we're sisters. And even though you're not even supposed to go into business with your sisters as well, your sister, I feel like it works with Ije and I, because Ije, her strengths are completely different from my strengths. And even though at times we may not agree on certain things of how to drive Hubbee forward, we then eventually come to that conclusion based on our strengths of how to move forward. And that's how it works. It's just like, we hardly have any disagreements about Hubbee, to be fair. But of course, working with, close by with, your sister, you are going to face that challenge of driving Hubbee forward, but you have your own ideas separate from your best friend. And I think another challenge, and the biggest challenge, is definitely working as well as having a business. So
you both work full time as well?
Yeah, full time.
We both work in the legal field. It's very hands-on. It's not like something that is, it's just a regular job. It's quite, stressful. But we just, we thank God that, even though we do have to balance it, we are not struggling balancing it. There is that level of just...
So how do you juggle it? I mean, obviously you're both in full-time careers, and like you both said, it's not, like an easy job. You're both in the legal sector, but how do you juggle it in terms of doing Hubbee? Do you work on it later in the evening and the weekends?
Basically.
Really?
So basically we work in the evenings, like I don't think, like leading up, especially with the launch, I don't think I slept very much. So, going to work, come back home and working on it in the evenings and weekends as well. And I think also communicating with Lara. So our jobs are different. So there's different times in the year when my job is more stressful, and there's different times in the year when Lara's job is more stressful. So, when she's really stressed, then I probably would do more that week, and the other way around. So we just kind of work it that way really, and just kind of make use of our time. Just try to be quite time efficient.
And we like to encourage each other as well. So if one person is like really busy, and you can just tell that they're busy, the other person would just take that and just run with it. So Ije is quite good with like dealing with the website, all the IT stuff. I always used to say I'm not IT savvy, but she's even taught me how to deal with certain things like that.
So did you guys create your own website or?
No, we had Amber Tree, so shout out to them.
Amber
so
Tree,
good.
creative.
Okay, big up yourselves.
They done their website for us.
Cool.
Them and Lindau.
Oh wow! So in regards to sharing your vision with them, did you do like a mock-up website, or did you just say, look, this is how I want it done, or did they just get the?
We just spoke to them really, and we just said like, this is what we want, and we were quite clear on our vision. I think that really helps, because although we had loads of different ideas, when we decided we want to do Hubbee, we had to make the vision very, very clear, and I think that's important to make sure you know what is exactly you're trying to achieve and who your target audience is and things like that. So we were just very clear about what we wanted, and when we communicated that to them, they understood, and they just ran with it really. They were really good, and even thought of some things that we didn't even think of. So.
And actually they did say how the reason why it worked, the leading up to the launch, and how our launch was so successful was because our vision was so clear. And I like that feedback that they gave us, because we were just so nervous about the launch, but they were like, well actually the reason why it's working right now and it will continue to work is because you have a clear vision.
Wow. So in regards to before you guys actually stepped out, when did the vision occur to you? Is it just from when people just started asking you questions, or was this something that you discussed previously before? Or
so for a long time, as you know, we've been going to various weddings, even wedding shows. We've organised a number of bridal showers, and also helped a lot at a lot of people's weddings. So that passion for weddings was birthed, because a lot of people would say, well, why do you have such a fascination with weddings if you're not even married? But actually we were you know, when a passion's in you, you can't sort of deny that. You can't reject it. It's there.
Yeah.
You know, we would go to weddings and we will be passionate about it. We would, you know, not compare.
Serve like it was our own wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We would really look at certain aspects of a wedding and see how, you know, things could have been changed or how things could look different, or you know, and it's not to sort of compare anyone's weddings, but we had that eye, that passion, that drive. And so because that began to birth, we had various ideas of you know, stepping out into business, specifically to do with weddings now, and that's when I'll give it to Ije.
Yeah, but I think definitely more business, I think, orientated was definitely Lara. She, you know, just kept to say, you know, we need to do this into a business. And I think I was definitely more laid back, but I think that's a lot to do with my own insecurities. And that is definitely one of the challenges that I should have mentioned is kind of overcoming your own fears. When I went to a conference for Word of Faith, actually, like a few years ago, they said that actually before you step out into anything, whether it's business, you need to deal with the issues that you have. Because if you don't deal with the issues why you're not stepping out for anything, you'll never kind of understand why you don't step out. And so then I had to think, actually, what is it that I'm so afraid of? You know, I think even Lara was like, why are you so scared? Like, come on, we just need to get on with it. And I was very, very apprehensive. But I think having someone that believes in the vision, that it really helps. And I think Lara really encouraged me to just be like, come on, we've got to step out. And, you know, eventually when we did. So that's, I think that is one of the challenges. But what was the question?
No, I was just saying how it was birthed.
So,
but yeah, I mean, your answer is really on point, because something I wanted to ask you in regards to what you said about dealing with your own insecurity issues, and I think that's something that's so key, especially for women. Do you know what I mean? And not even just for women, for men as well. You know, because they have their own challenges that they have to deal with on a daily basis. But you know, what's beautiful about you two's working relationship is, like you said, Lara was able to encourage you as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's not everybody that has that person that can actually encourage them and say, you know, come on, we can do this and things like that. And sometimes for somebody, like even for myself, even just doing an ordinary woman, although I have a team that works with me, but ultimately I have to motivate everybody to a certain extent as well. So if I'm not motivated, guess what? Nothing's not really going to be happening. But then at the same time, I'm blessed with a team that will say, okay, this needs to be done, Kaz, or what's going on there, and things like that. And it's not, I suppose it's just, like you said, it's recognizing your skill sets. And like you said, you was able to recognize, you know, Lara's good at doing this and I'm good at doing that. And it's really embracing each other, you know, because like you said, you're not trying to be her and she's not trying to be you. So I think that's something that's really key. You know, is there anything that you could really say to somebody that may be struggling with that issue, you know, just comparing themselves with other people and just accepting who they actually are? Is there something you could say to the camera, to the viewer?
I would say comparing yourself is definitely a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It kind of leaves you nowhere, to be honest with you, because you're constantly comparing yourself and nothing's changing. So I would encourage you to just step out and identify your own strength, your own weakness, stay in your lane. So it's a bit like if you're driving to a certain place, a certain destination. For us, you know, we're driving towards the Hubbee destiny, and so, but we both have different cars. We're not in the same car. We're two different people. So I would say just stay in your lane. Actually, stay in your lane. Identify your own strengths. Identify your own weaknesses. Because when you're driving and you're looking to the left, you're going to crash. You know, God forbid. But you know, if you're not focused on your own destination, you know, you are going to get into reckless behaviour. So I would just say stay in your lane, just be encouraged that everyone's different, everyone has strengths, everyone has weaknesses. You know, Ije's talked about how I've encouraged her, but to be honest with you, she's also encouraged me at times when I, you know, just didn't want to know anything about websites. I was just like, no, Ije, I really can't do this. She would encourage me. You know, she'd be like, look, Lara, we need to do this. So she would also be that motivator. So yeah, if you want to go into business, just know that you need to overcome that fear. You can actually do things that you don't think you're able to do. And now, believe it or not, I'm always at the back office dealing with the website and so forth. So it's just really encouraging you to overcome that fear, overcome your nerves, and just know that you can actually do it.
Thank you. That's amazing. I mean, you're encouraging me as well, because I sometimes find, even for myself, I tend to compare myself with other people, and I think we just automatically do these things, and you have to just say, you're not that person, and you are you, and you're good enough just by yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we need to keep it real with each other, and I really thank you for even just sharing that about yourself as well, because I think the viewers needs to hear this, because sometimes you're just looking at you guys just look like you've got your thing together. Do you understand what I'm saying? But these are the things that you're dealing with on a normal basis. Do you understand what I'm saying? And these are things that people are dealing with. So hear it from you guys. I just pray that it encourages them as well. Definitely. So okay, so moving forward, so what events have you guys got planned for 2017? What have you got planned?
We are going to the National Wedding Show.
Oh,
yeah,
fabulous.
We've got a stall there on the 17th to the 19th of February, so in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
So yeah, if anyone's free, they should come down. I think the tickets are £15. But yeah, it's run over 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So we're really excited about that. So yeah.
We have our stall, so we are going to just
do filming on the spot.
Yeah, do filming on the spot, because part of Hubbee is really just getting people to give advice and tips. So we want to also do that on spot and grab some brides and even grooms if they're there to be to just give advice and tips via vlogs, and also to get them to sign up and really encourage people to really just create a free account on the Hubbee website, which would be good. We'll be also wearing our t-shirts.
Some of them will be given away in the day.
Here it is. It looks better on, mind you. This is a present for you, Kaz.
Okay, so maybe when I'm wearing it, you may just say, "Oh, there's my wife."
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the National Wedding Show.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! And I just love that name, Hubbee. It's just so unique. It's just
we actually
so
thought
cool.
about it. Actually, it was really strange how it happened. I thought about it when I was outside, and Lara was also. You were in my house, and you thought about it, and we walked in, and we had the same name. For a long time we were trying to figure out what are we going to call this. One of the names that I thought about was Brideface, which I still really love. But then God said, that's not the name. And so when Ije came into her house, and I was in her house, don't ask me.
You are sisters.
Exactly. I'm always at her house. And then she was just like, I thought of a name. And then I was like, I thought of a name. And I promise you, we both said it.
Same name. Wow.
Yeah,
we just knew that was good. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So, okay, social media platforms.
Yeah.
Where can guys interact with you? What's your social media platform?
So we're on Instagram at Hubbee_weddings for Instagram. Twitter is at Hubbee Weddings, and Facebook is at Hubbee Weddings.
Okay.
So quite simple.
And our website is www.hubbee.co.uk. HUBBEE.
Excellent. And also, I'm going to kind of like go off a little bit differently, but what would you advise a young woman that really just wants to get married, and obviously you're both single, right?
Yeah.
And they're just decide, because especially when you're in church, and not even just in church, let's not even just say church, but you get to a certain age, you just think, right, I want to get married. You may have had this on your vision board, by this year I'm going to be married by this age, etc. What would you say to that person? And nothing ain't warning right now, you understand? There's no man on the scene, no nothing. What would you say to that individual?
I mean, although we do weddings, we do encourage people that it's not about the wedding day in itself. It's really about the marriage. It's about the person that you marry. And it's so important. I know this sounds cliche, and it's always the same sort of topics that you hear about wait on the Lord, and especially as a woman, wait on the Lord, and God's going to do it, and that's actually the honest truth. But it's also about waiting on the Lord and walking in your purpose as well. Definitely. And so I think Hubbee is a great, I wouldn't say distraction, but it's a great adventure for us to actually step out and do the things that God has called us to do. Because in doing that, and just like Ruth and Esther served in the Bible, in doing that you'll begin to identify the things that you actually are good at, your strengths, and how that will complement that of your husband, your spouse. So it's actually it's funny, because actually stepping out in business has helped our singleness journey, but at the same time knowing that God is going to do it, and you just have to just trust God.
Yeah.
That it's not about rushing to get married, because that's the trend now. You know, everyone's getting married, and the wedding days are all, you know, weddings, and you know, anything to do with weddings is all over social media, splashed over social media. And don't get me wrong, we're involved in it as well.
Yeah.
But just to really encourage young ladies and just those that are, you know, older, that are waiting for a husband, just to really just walk in your purpose.
Yeah.
Just keep serving, keep trusting God, and
And also, I would just say, actually find joy in serving other people. Like, we go to loads of weddings and we love it, but we love serving at our friends' weddings and seeing them enjoy, you know, their day. So I would say do that as well. Be genuinely happy for other people and genuinely want to serve at other people's weddings, and be a blessing to other people. And I think when it's your turn, you will see, like, you'll reap the harvest of what you've sowed.
That's so true, because we always used to say, rejoice with those that rejoice, you know, and we were always constantly at people's weddings, like literally slaving away, rejoicing, and we were always happy, and people would just be like, why are you so happy? Obsessed with weddings, you're not even married, like, where does this obsession come from? Why are you doing Hubbee? That's what we get all the time.
Like, are you married? No.
It's like, no, for us it's something deeper than that. And it really is, I think the key is, and as Ije said, it's really about just supporting each other. Whether that's in business, or whether, you know, your friend's getting married, or your sister's getting married, whoever that you know is getting married, just really just rejoice, because your time is coming.
Yeah.
And once, as I said, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys. I really enjoyed speaking with you and just learning about Hubbee, how it started and everything else. I'm really excited for all the business that's going to be coming your way and everything else, and what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
So thank you, ladies. Okay, guys, well, I hope you was blessed, because I know I was blessed with these gorgeous, no ordinary women. So until next time, peace out. Kazmat loves you, and these Obi women loves you too. Ciao.
Bye.
You are the key. It's only natural. Woman, you are the start. You are the beginning, and that is a problem. That is a problem. Yes, it is a problem, but not for me. Oh, no. Where did we go wrong in our ancestry to displace her grace? Nothing now belongs where it should be. Topsy-turvy. We don't learn from our mistakes, aren't we? Amazing. Given to all life, sent from above and below us, the ground gives beneath our feet, as Mother Nature intended and extended unto you, to some that is a problem.